Hey guys, welcome to Tight Track Tuesday, where I talk about new music, music that's new to me, or music that's not new at all, but I just think it's cool, so I'm going to share it with you guys. And today we have a track by my stylist. No, actually, I worked with Ting, I want to say last year, for styling for, live shows. We were playing a lot out at the time, and so I just kind of wanted, I don't know. I just think that it's so important to like have everything together, right? Like you have obviously you have like the music and that's very important. But also when you're a live performer, it's also just as important to like look okay or like look good while you're performing. So I enlisted the help of a stylist, and that stylist was Ting. Turns out Ting is also a musician, and she's put out a couple of singles. Her latest one called Takers. It's a hip hop, rap, R&B type of track. Super cool. Definitely take a listen. The duality of the two types of like ballad song with the rap is kind of reminiscent of like modern K-pop, I guess, but also at the same time more reminiscent of like old school rap. So yeah, it's a super interesting track. Definitely take a look at it. Her music video is coming out on the 12th, so definitely recommend checking that out. And yeah, stay tuned for the interview that I did with Ting coming up next. All right, hey guys, we're here with the Nova Local Band Project. We're here with Ting Lin. Um, Here's the funny story. For a while, I had a stylist, and it was terrible. Uh,
Hello.
so she's also a musician herself. She has come out with a couple of songs. Her latest song is called Takers. It's a hip hop track, which is interesting. Um,
Right?
I listened I listened to a couple of times today. Here's the funny thing. So I listened to it and I didn't get all the way through. So I didn't even get to the hip hop part. I was like, oh, okay, cool song. Right. And then today I like sat with it. I was like, wait, hold on.
Oh,
It
I
was
know.
a nice surprise. It was really good. Um,
Thank you.
so where should we start? Where do you want to start? How about you just tell the people about you?
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I met Victoria or Tori through fashion styling, and I think she's awesome already. She has an amazing style, but it was like kind of like the musician helping musician type of thing, like, hey, how can we like elevate this? So fashion styling is something I do. Other than styling, I help people with their closets and shop with them and such. And I also, design fashion things, trying to be sustainable. So trying to be very careful as to, what material I need to use to design and such. And also do some fun modeling things on the side. So that's all my fashion stuff. And then music stuff is singing, songwriting. My music is all about, inspiring people to take action, make them think, make them feel something. And I love to incorporate different cultural elements to my music through, using different languages or talking about different cultural experiences and such. So, and also I love to experiment with genres. So, like, Do You was kind of like this pop like style music, but some people said it was very gospely because of I talked about that we were chosen, and there's like a very positive vibe to it and telling people to like, live in the moment and all that. And then Te Quiero is got like Latin flair, which I'm a Latina at heart. So I love Latin music, Latin people, Latin culture, Latin language. So I wanted to incorporate Spanish, as part of the song, and also because it was about a long distance relationship that I have with my current boyfriend. And he's Latino. So I thought, oh, it makes sense. And then Takers, as you heard, is like hip hop, rap, R&B. So I'm just really kind of experimenting with different sounds and giving people different things to listen to, because I feel like, a lot of times the mainstream music industry is very kind of just like cookie cutter. You get the same sounds
Like
for
it's getting more and more the same. It's so crazy because
yeah.
Um, two tracks come to mind. One by Charlie Puth, Attention,
Right,
and
right,
I can't remember which song I'm thinking of by Dua Lipa, but they both do the same thing. They both do the like, um, no, no, no. Also, Billie Eilish does this, where it's just like basically just bass and rhythm, and then the vocals on top, um, and it's really just basically that. And I'm
right.
like, y'all don't have a guitar somewhere. Y'all only have a bass going. And so that's why I find myself when it comes to pop, kind of more on the K-pop side of things, just because
It's more interesting. There's more to
it's
listen
way
to.
more interesting, way more
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, I think like again, the people that you mentioned are all really talented musicians.
mhm,
And some of them write, their own material, if not the whole song lyrics or and such. But it's almost like there's a formula that they follow. Like, oh, hey, this is your sound, stick to it. And I
exactly.
feel like as indie artists that like we are, it's like stick to what?
Right.
Nobody's here to tell me what to do. I can do whatever I want to do. And, I think we're more connected to the art of it than, the commercial and the business side of it, which
Yeah.
is beautiful.
Eventually I'm in a place where I would like to get to more of the business side, but I think that, um, you know, you're like your body of work as it is at this moment in time. I'm sure eventually, maybe you will venture into making an album of like a similar sound. Um,
Right.
but at this time, it's just kind of like, why not experiment with different genres? And eventually, I guess it would just shake out to be like alternative, and it could just be whatever you want.
Right. I'm trying to see what people kind of gear towards,
Mhm,
kind of get different feedback from people about different types of songs that I do. I'll be putting out things in Chinese, which is like
mhm,
Cantonese and Mandarin, to see how people listen to that because I feel like there's certain stereotypes of what Chinese music is or what Asian music is in general. People, just expect it to be ballad throughout and all that stuff. And it's like, I'm trying to, shake that up too. And yeah, just keep experimenting and see what people kind of love and, want to listen to. I usually already have an idea, like, what are my best songs?
mhm.
So when people tell me like, oh, I love this, oh, I don't love this as much, I always kind of take it with a grain of salt because I'm like, you know I already kind of know like myself.
Yeah, you also have to consider that like the general public,
Right,
um, I don't want to say that they don't know music, but like they don't know music. Like,
right,
for
right,
me as somebody who's a musician, like your music isn't something that I'm gonna like put on when I'm driving the car, just because like I'm more of a heavy. I want to listen to ripping guitars and crazy drums and whatever. Um,
right.
but like in terms of like production and song quality and really the whole package, because you've put a whole package together for each of your songs. Um,
I do.
and
Yeah.
that's really cool. It's also a lot of work.
Uh-huh.
It's a lot of
Girl,
work.
tell me about it.
But I think it just kind of shows your dedication, and it also probably feels more complete to you in that,
Mm-hmm.
because you're kind of able to like, okay, here are the visuals, here is the
The
just,
sound. Yeah.
yeah, everything.
Yeah.
So
Well, again, like visual comes from the fact that I'm into fashion and like it's a way for me to showcase my styling, showcase different sides of me,
yeah.
and showcase like what I can do, like the types of clothing I like to use for different songs. Like Do You was a red gown, like flowy gown, because I thought that would contrast like the green nature, just have that pop. And then for Te Quiero is like this kind of old Hollywood sequence dress, but with like a high slit. So you got that like Latin flavor in there, that sexiness in there. And then Takers, you probably only just saw like a little bit of it. It was just a black dress, but then I add like different types of outerwear because again, the weather was cold, so I couldn't do changes like in the park. So I was like,
Right.
well, I can just change up different jackets and it's like really edgy. And so the visual element is like really fun for me because I feel like I can really change it up and really like show more of my personality, show more of who I am, through that if they
Yeah.
can't get it from the sound.
Right.
So,
Because, but it's like, you know, whereas you are showcasing your styling, there's something to be said about it not feeling like it could just look like it just could like feel like a lookbook, but it's not. It's a music
right.
video.
There's acting involved.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've actually gotten more into like creative directing too.
Hmm.
I'm sure you've you've experienced this too, whether it's like on stage or filming a music video or filming a promo. It's like, okay, what locations, what feel are we going for? Who's going to be in it? How do we do this safely? In the pandemic,
Hmm.
like what am I wearing? What are my expressions? Like or even coming to editing, it's like what part of the song should this scene come out? You know, it's
You
like,
have a part in that. You kind of like
yeah.
storyboard things out, or how does that go? Because I know I had a lot to say about you know, the visuals in that aspect. As a photographer myself, like I'm always like really paying very close attention to like photography choices, maybe like the effects or filters that photographers or videographers may put on a uh,
Right,
piece of work.
right.
Um, I don't even remember what I was saying because I got so distracted because I was thinking about the album
Storyboarding, you're asking,
cover.
right.
Yes, but the album cover that you have for Takers, um, I need to see that Photoshop file. Like it's so nice. It's so nice. Because it looks like to me that the lighting might actually be kind of harsh because it seems like you filmed it kind of like in the afternoon.
No, we filmed it during the day, but what I usually do with my videographers, like for music videos, is we do a photo shoot at the site.
Yes.
So it's not like the shot was taken from the film. It's like a whole separate,
Oh, you can't do it.
shoot.
You can't do that. It
Yeah,
has to be separate.
it wouldn't be good quality. It wouldn't be good
Mhm.
quality. Um, Honestly, like, so with some, it really depends on the type of videographers you work with. For some videographers, I try to plan it and be as organized as possible before we even start. Like, okay, these are the shots that I would like. Like for Do You, I was like, all right, I want a drone shot of me running through the field. Okay, he understands that. I want a time lapse of me being still and then people passing by me to show, like, how life, passes so fast sometimes. So like those are things I've told him beforehand. He's like, okay, I know we need to get these like shots. But with some other videographers, like the one for Takers, um, so like the Do You and the Ghettos with like Luke Roberts, and he's awesome. And then with Takers is with Jeffrey Perkins, J Perks Production, shouting out to them. He's a little bit different. I feel like, with him, I had some shots in mind, but it was more like collaborative. So I think it really depends on who you work with. It depends on the vision. But when I collaborate with videographers or photographers, I like to get their vision, like their take on things as well, or else it wouldn't be a collaboration. They're just taking my orders, and I feel like that's not fun, So because
It's
they
not
because they
fun.
always bring a fresh
Also,
perspective.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
you wouldn't get exactly what it wouldn't be exciting for you if you kind of just dictated everything.
Yeah.
I have somebody working on a song for me at this, right now. And I pretty much wrote everything and I got it back. And it's just kind of like, I'm so excited to hear what's going to sound at the end because I was just kind of like, man, um, it feels like I can sing what I have written over it. So
Right.
I just want to let you do what you want, like what you feel.
Right.
Um, because it's
Yeah.
even fun for me because it's just like, oh, I didn't, that's a something I wouldn't have decided to do.
Right.
And so it's just exciting for everybody. And that's art. Like,
Collaboration, yeah, collaboration is art, you know. I mean, you and I'm sure we can do everything on our own, like with the
right.
skills we have and vision and everything. But again, like how do we collaborate with talented people to elevate our work,
Hmm.
to bring something that we never thought, like what could be done, or um because like you have a vision, like a lot of the projects I tell them my vision, and sometimes that's more solidified through the editing, because they send me the videos and I send edits back, send comments back, and then they bring, but I always like to say like, hey, what do you think of this, yeah, collaboration is I feel like very important, and teamwork is very important in what we do.
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to like, you're not making art for an army full of views. You're making an art for so many different people. And so
Right.
that different like uh perspectives from different people is very necessary. Like every time I
Hmm.
write a song, I send it to like five of my friends. Like, what do you think?
Right.
It's just
Just to get their feedback.
yeah, absolutely. And so like there was one song where my friend was like, I don't like this sound. I'm like, you know what? Respectfully, I disagree with you. I think it's fine. Like,
Well, so for takers, my boyfriend actually does not like it.
uh-oh. He
And
doesn't
I'm
like the
like,
song?
yeah, like it's the rap part. He's just not used to me rapping.
Hmm.
And I am not a rapper, but I'm like, this is spoken poetry. Like I'm like, have you listened to the words to like what I'm actually rapping about? I'm not saying like let's get in the club and get
Right.
down. It's like,
It's
you
very like
know,
old school style of rap.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so, but when he told me, I was like, all right, you don't have to like it, you
Right.
know? It's not for everybody, I'm sure. But again, I don't think I'm making art to please. I'm making art to inspire, to, make people reflect, to make them feel something again. So it's like, I'm sure I'll have people that don't like something and people that love something and the ones that just don't care. Again, I'm not here to please. It's more so, hey, this is what I can create. Here it is. Do whatever you want with it.
Yes. And it is so interesting that you say that. Um, I don't know when all this is gonna come out, but I literally a couple of days ago filmed a video where I said exactly that. Like
Oh my gosh.
I just like, like I used to be a big fan of Linkin Park. I'm not
Mm,
saying that I'm not, but like I was a kid when I liked them, grown up a little bit. But
right.
people had a lot of opinions about their shift from like the new metal style to more of a, I guess, pop rock kind of style.
Right.
Still has those like uh, harder elements, but at the end of the day, like their latest album, pre Chester Bennington, um,
Gotcha.
passing away, but he, yeah, it was just a different sound, and people were just like, well, you need to go back to the sound that you guys did, literally in the early 2000s. Like I want to say one of their albums came out in 2000, so
Yeah, like
like
20 years ago.
that was a long time. Like,
I can't believe
our
2000 is 20 years ago, but anyway.
yeah, I hate it.
Oh, we're
Absolutely
old.
hate it.
No.
uh why is that literally something that I said? And I just filmed another interview and we were talking about TikTok, and the lead singer was like, man, like I'm just like not ready for another social media. And I'm just like, man, same. But it's also like
Yeah.
it's a lot of work. Like these kids put in so much work.
Do they have a childhood, is what I'm asking. Because when I was 12, 13, I was, I don't know, like out and about, walking around malls. Like, well, I guess they can't do that
They
anymore,
can't
but,
do it now.
like, or, going bowling, like socializing with people, like things like that. Or just like be out in the nature, and it's
Yeah.
like,
I think it's just
it's
a
out
new
here.
method of socializing, but like it's so it's just a
Very
lot of work.
performative. Very performative.
Very performative.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work. And so I was just like, man, we're old. Like
Well, I guess we're twins. We keep saying the same things.
literally, I think we're just in this we're on the same wavelength. Like,
Yeah.
you know, what I was saying, you know, I will kind of put out what I want, and if you like it, it's great. If you don't like it, I don't think that I care.
Well,
Um,
because like we're humans too. Like humans are supposed to evolve, right? So
yep,
as musicians, because we take a lot of like our art is inspired by a lot of our experiences or knowledge, who we are, that as we evolve, our creation, our music evolves. That
yep,
should be natural. It's
yeah,
just so funny to me that you're telling me like, like, yeah, some of these fans are like, go back to doing what you were doing. Or I've heard people, because I love Shakira, and I've heard people say like, oh, I like Shakira, when she first started out and this and stuff. I'm like, if you really love an artist, you should love like their change, their evolving art. Not
yeah,
so much like, oh, I like them back when.
right. I think it's also important in that same vein to, you know, kind of decide, right? So like, do you like the artist for who they are? You just kind of like them as a person, or do you like the art, or do you like both? Because there are sometimes where I feel like people don't like aren't able to like kind of like idolize somebody. Like at the end of the day, like somebody can come out with an album that like, just doesn't hit, and like that can be okay.
Right.
I don't think you need to like blast them on social media about it. Like
Right, right.
not like it.
Like this doesn't serve me, it's
Right,
like
right. Like who cares? But like you can just not like it. You don't have to say anything about it. You just don't like it, and it's fine.
right, right.
It's okay. Who cares?
Oh gosh,
Um,
social media and people just putting their opinions out there. I don't know.
like what? So I came up on MySpace. Back
Same.
in the day. I think we're around the same age. So
Yeah.
like MySpace, like it's funny because when I think back to MySpace days,
Yeah.
it was more about it wasn't about how other people felt about your profile. It's about how you felt about your profile.
Yeah. I remember you
Yeah.
can like customize like the fonts on there, the background colors,
Yeah.
maybe like one image or something,
Right.
like Tom was your first friend.
Right.
Like and yeah, I don't ever remember having like a million friends. It was something like you will connect with your actual friends.
Exactly.
You just don't have
Yeah. It
random
wasn't about trying to
followers.
impress the masses. It was about
No, it's like here's a little space for me.
exactly. Um, and I don't really know when we got away from that. Certainly did.
Yeah, we did. Real
Um,
far.
which, like, I think we're kind of in a tough spot because we're at a place where we have to kind of deal with that because we also
Mm-hmm.
are on the side where we're just like, well, the only way for me to get really where I want to go is unfortunately to get more followers on social media, and it's the way.
Participate.
And so,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
It's
it's
a balance because like, I'm a 90s kid. Like I was born in the 90s, and it's like remember when there was pager, there was like phones that are this big with an
yep,
antenna, to like actual landlines, you actually answer the phone like in your house.
yeah,
And just and then on your free time, I don't know, we play jump ropes, we make up games outside with a chalk, like drawing things on the ground and playing with little like bugs and insects
yep.
and like
Making mud and like all that
or
stuff.
that. Or like just socialize like like to actually talk to your neighbors, like hang out with your cousins, like and then and, like in and then I feel like now we kind of live in the internet. And
Yeah,
like you said, it's a balance. Like I try to find that balance of going on social media when I have something to announce or when I have something to say, and also of course like give some love to other people about what they're posting and stuff like that. It is a way sometimes to keep in touch with friends and family that I haven't seen in years. So they kind of know what you're up to, when you're getting married, when you got a new house,
Right.
like when you got a dog, when you have a kid. It's like, I think there's benefits to it for sure. And I try to partake and get the benefits of it. But also to remind myself, all right, I've just spent 2, 3 hours on like the internet, like online, just liking things, going down the black hole of whatever. Like, all right, I need to like go clean the house or like, live in the real life. So,
Literally anything except that. Um, like I'm so bad about it. I used to be the type of kid who would be on the internet just all day.
right.
Um, I don't know what it was, whatever, but like I will like right now, like literally, I was so caught up on something.
Yeah,
It's generally something, because I write my music with my laptop and my microphone, whatever.
right.
Um, but I find myself like being able to get lost in things again, you know,
Mm-hmm.
like not being so distracted by uh, messages I'm getting, text
Mm.
messages, notifications. In fact, here's a tip. I don't know if you do this. I just turn off all the notifications from everything. And when I decide to check it, I check it. And when I don't,
Right,
I don't.
right. Well, yeah, I don't have any notification for my social media.
Hmm. I
It's
just like, don't need to know.
right, right. I don't need to know when somebody likes something or somebody comments, do they expect me to just write back right away because I am just staring at the phone all day?
Right.
Um, yeah, but yeah, that's important too. Like that's something important to talk about. It's like giving your full attention to something, like what we're doing right now. I have my phone on silent. I'm just staring into the camera at you, talking to you,
Yeah.
like that one-on-one, like full attention connection, or like, when you doing a task, like, all right, let me just do this right now. When this is done, I'm gonna move on to something else, instead of like, oh, I'm doing a little bit of this and then like this and then, like five things at once.
Yes. And it can be so disjointed and you
Yeah.
can't really get through it. But
Yeah.
I do want to ask, so how has it been? Um, we talked a lot about music, talked a lot about, also your music video is coming out on the 12th of March,
Yes, the full
right?
so the teaser came out, yeah, on Friday. But the full length music video for Takers is coming out on the 12th on YouTube.
I'm very excited to see that. I will
Thanks.
definitely put all that info down in the description.
Yes.
Um, but I do want to ask a little bit more about like how has it been? Because we're at a year now
Oh my
of
God.
quarantine and lockdown and all that kind of garbage.
Yeah.
But how's it been with your? Because you've made a couple of changes. It seems like you kind of solidified your kind of fashion styling business. So
Hmm.
how is that? I guess like how's that been, and what are your future plans with that?
Mainly fashion or just in general?
I guess just in general, like, are you going to work more on your personal fashion and maybe making some more clothing pieces and maybe doing something with that, or you want to work more on styling others? I'm just curious. Like, let me know
Yeah.
what you're up to.
Well, so pandemic again has hit everybody hard in different ways. For me, luckily, I've always had a corporate job, so I can, do music and fashion and all this good stuff on the side and really do it genuinely and take my time with it instead of like, all right, I gotta make money. Let's just like throw
Right.
some stuff out there. So I've been very lucky with that. Having that financial stability has made a world's difference for me. And I've been working at from home mainly because our office is closed. So I also, because of that, had a little bit more time to even dedicate to. It's okay.
My, I'm so glad that I'm close with my employees, but sometimes they just send me TikToks, and I just like,
Oh,
no.
Cool.
It's
Very
cute, but also right now.
right now, right? So with music, again, I've been a musician all my life, but it's really just like last year and this year where I've kind of taken it more seriously. Learning about the business side of it and like registering with a million organizations to trying to get all the royalties and trying to be protected and all that good stuff. So, for music, I envision this being something that I'll be doing for many, many years. Again, I've always been a musician all my life. Hopefully, perform more shows. Just I guess be able to get decent income from it. I don't gotta be like a superstar, but
Yeah,
just continue to create and see where it leads me. I definitely all the singles I'm putting out right now are going to be an album. So
awesome.
you heard it here first.
Nice.
Um,
I get like the inside scoop.
yeah. And then for fashion, definitely keep styling people because styling for me is so much more than just putting clothes on people. It's like the whole journey of how do you feel about your body? How do you feel about your life? Like it's so much it's more like a therapy, honestly,
Hmm.
than hey, just wear these things and you feel good. Um so I love doing that type of work because I feel like I'm really making a difference in people's lives, even just from their appearance. So
Yeah, it
definitely I want to
completely
grow it.
matters. How you look is how you feel, backwards,
Yeah.
forwards, all that.
Yeah. And so, with that, I definitely want to be doing more styling work, whether, it's just just putting my name out there, maybe styling celebrities, maybe styling for more brands, I don't know, TV shows, whatever it is. Just keep styling. And then for design, it's I definitely want to put out some more designs out there. I've done one collection where it's very edgy. I definitely want to put maybe more like ready to wear
Mhm.
pieces out there, but sustainably. And do in a way where maybe I can customize it to people's body sizes because I feel like all of us still struggle to this day to find things that actually fit our body, without tailoring, without all that good stuff. So
Yeah, I would
figuring
know.
that
I live
out
in
too.
hoodies, so
I do know that about you. Um,
and I tried so hard. Like you were really getting me out of my comfort zone. And it's like all of this hit, and it's just like, well, I'm just going back to what I
going back to oh, Buffalo Exchange closed, the one in DC.
what's that? Oh, it closed.
Buffalo Exchange, yeah, that store we went to. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I think it's on 14th Street. Yeah, it's on 14th Street. Yeah, unfortunately it closed, but because pandemic and I don't know, it's a like thrift store, so it's really hard for it to sustain itself.
Yeah.
But yeah, so so plans for music, plans for fashion, plans to also have an organization called the Ting Times, which aims to support creatives, whether it's connecting them to opportunities, help mentor them, just basically really encouraging other people to pursue like the things that I'm pursuing, whether it's on the side or whatnot. Like, because again, sometimes depending on the culture you're from and the type of parenting you've gotten, um, or parenting you still keep getting, um, so I'm sure a lot of creatives out there are very discouraged from like actually pursuing something that they're passionate about. So
Hmm.
hopefully my organization can really help encourage them by, giving the opportunities and mentorship and resources. And when I say creatives, I mean like in any industry, because if you just think outside of the box, you want to find solutions to different, like the creative solutions to different problems you have in industry. I consider you a creative. So it doesn't have to be like the traditionally creative industries like art or fashion or music or, graphic design and such.
Well, everything is melding together these days. Like,
Yeah, no,
you
really.
know, as a musician, I I would say I kind of started out in choreography. That's where it all started for me. And then I moved into, I guess, more graphic design. And then from graphic design, I moved into photography. And then with music, I also had to learn music production, and then I have to get more into music theory. It's crazy. Like
Yeah. It's a
one
lot
part
to learn.
leads into the other. And so I think that's why the term creative is so important, is because most creatives don't just do one thing.
Yeah. No, I mean they're all related.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how I incorporate fashion into music. It's like, well, duh, you have to wear
They've
clothes.
always been like
They've always been,
hand in
right?
hand. Like they're so they they must exist together.
Right, right.
So the fact that you have that down, I think that really gives an interesting like take and perspective. Um, because like when like people go to red carpets, what's the first thing they ask? Who are you wearing, right?
Right, 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 right.
And so it's crazy important. So
Yeah.
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 But I mean, with that, I'm excited. Like you have so much going on. Um, I'm excited that we are nearing the end with the pandemic,
I know.
even if it's until the end of this year. First of all, this is
Right.
flying by, so we're gonna
Yeah,
be at
this
the
year is
end
flying
before
by.
you are ready.
I know.
And yeah, like it's gonna be really really exciting. We definitely on our end might need your services. We'll see.
Girl, just let me know whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, I'm excited to see like all the new things coming up for you too, because again, like you used to perform a lot like on stage, and that is really why, we were working together to help find you stage outfits, right?
Yes.
So
And
I
I do
yeah.
want to mention that I would love to see you more in, this, I guess, Northern Virginia scene. I think that there's a lot of artists in the scene that could use your help. Now, that's not shade,
Right. Right.
but it is, seeing how you have um, packaged each of your singles that you have put out up
Mm-hmm.
until now so well. That's creative direction credits. That is styling credits. That's
Right.
it's a lot, and I think that people could benefit. When you see like dudes in bands taking pictures in t-shirts and jeans every time.
Right. And well, I think that's okay if that they consciously chose that. Like there's people that might be in white shirt, white jeans just all the time, but it's all about making that conscious decision to do it. Like you actually thought about it. You're like, "All right, this is my brand image. These are the colors I want to work with. That's what I'm going to wear every single time." And if you consciously made those decisions, it's fine. It's just like, "Oh, well, everybody else is wearing that,
Exactly.
so I'm going to do it." That's when it's like, "All right, you need help."
Exactly. And so that's why I had mentioned to you, I would love to do another video more focused on uh, fashion, uh, again, to kind of like get you into that music sphere of like, you know, just because you're not like, a crazy band who's performing at like the Super Bowl doesn't mean like you don't need that styling help. Like I was at
Right.
the point where we're going to get to the end here because but um, when I had reached out to you, I was at the point where it's like, I don't need a stylist. I don't have an album out yet, or I don't have a record deal, or I don't have blah 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 blah. Um, but like those two things aren't like
People are still
not
staring at
mutually
you on
exclusive.
stage or on screen.
Exactly.
They're not just listening to what you're singing or looking at your dance moves or whatnot. They're looking at your whole top to bottom,
Yeah.
like your mannerism to like the way you carry yourself. Just because you wear cute clothes, that doesn't always mean you know how to rock them. Two
Right.
different things. You gotta wear it with attitude or with elegance or whatever your brand is about.
Yeah, absolutely. And so that's why I would love to like kind of dive into that a little bit more because like, I don't really have that thing. Like, yes, I'm at the point where I've consciously chosen hoodies, and I accessorize them and
Yeah,
whatever. That's just what I chose. But like that was it for me at this point. It has been a choice.
right.
You know, um, I did it. I did a couple of other things, but it just didn't feel like me. It didn't. It's it's just not how I wanted to express myself.
Hmm.
Um, so yeah, I think it's just like getting other people to that point where it's just like, okay, you have your music down, great. Now we need to like put it all together.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that's what an artist is, right? I mean, we're all like, we're not products, but you see
Mhm.
how products are packaged and on the shelf.
Yep.
There's labels, there's the types of material that contain them and all that stuff. We're not products, but we're still, putting ourselves out there commercially. If you want to succeed in this field, you have to think commercial business, right? So it's like, does does somebody just want to buy a good voice, or does somebody want to buy a good artist?
Yep. That's
So
just that. But
mic
yeah, it's been
drop.
great talking. We have been all over the place. I don't know if this is really an interview. I think it's just a chat.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
that's how you are too, though, dear. I mean, even when we're working together, it just always felt like we're just friends shopping together.
we're just chilling. We're
We're
just
just
chilling. And
chilling.
I don't really tend to work with people who I don't like. Um,
Right.
I just I'm not good at
Why?
faking it. Just not.
Yeah, right, right, right. It's like, why bother?
Right.
You know?
So no, it's been great.
No, thank you so much for reaching out to me, about this interview. I was surprised. I was like, a former client wants to do an interview about my music? What?
It just
Um,
felt right. I don't know what inspired it. I don't know. I don't even I have no idea.
Her
Um,
voice.
who
Yeah.
knows? But yeah, just like a little something that was like, hey, go check it out. Then I was like, oh my God. Put out music, what? 'Cause I knew you were a
Oh.
musician. But I was
But when
like,
I met you at that time, I didn't have all this.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, what? I've been working on music for years, and she done put out three singles before I put out anything. Oh my gosh, I need to get on the ball. Um,
It's not a competition though. You work on your own
absolutely not.
pace,
What it
your own timeline.
is like I'm so anxious to have what I have made out there.
Mm.
And it feels like it's a part of me that's like being held back.
Mm.
But, I feel like the people need to see it. You know,
Yeah.
absolutely not a competition. I never
Don't
been a competitive
overthink it. Don't
person.
overthink it. Just put it out, girl.
Yeah.
And I can definitely be here to help in
Yes.
any way you need me to.
Yeah.
So,
And I'm excited about everything that you just talked about. It's absolutely astonishing to me. I'm excited.
oh,
Um,
thank you.
yeah. So I
All right, dear.
will let you go so you can get to your other crazy stuff that you have going on. You're a creative person
Yeah,
and
weekend is not a weekend for me. Weekend is just another work day for my creative stuff.
oh yeah,
Um,
it's just a different work week. Like
yeah, yeah. Well, because you're an entrepreneur too. It's like
yeah,
it never stops. So,
yeah, it's crazy. But
all right. So good seeing you and talking to you.
absolutely, we should do this again soon.
We will.
All right.
Yeah. All right, dear.
I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you.
Bye.
Bye.
So yeah, that's it for me for Tight Track Tuesday. Don't forget to give all of Tig's stuff that she has going on a look. I'm gonna have all of that down below. Stream Takers. Take a look at the music video, and yeah, if you like more videos like this where I talk to local creatives, not even just musicians, Ting is all over the place. She's like the definition of boss babe for sure. So yeah, check it all out. It's all gonna be in the description. If you like this video, please like it and subscribe to our channel. It means more to us than you think. And yeah, I think that's all I got. Bye.